and grounded astral path. So for today's class, I really want to give us an opportunity to get some grounding in. For most of us, September marks the start of back to school season, whether you or yourself are going back to school or you're sending your kids back to school, or we're at least getting back into a more steady routine now that summer's kind of done its thing and now we're moving into the fall season. So I really wanted this video to be an opportunity for us to not only get grounded physically, but also to see some of the tools we have to kind of ground our mental energy as well. So yeah, we're gonna hop right into it. Today we're going to begin as we usually do with the breath. And I've introduced this breath before. We're gonna take a full deep inhale into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And a full cleansing exhale. Feel free to close your eyes here. Take another big breath in. And another exhale. Relax the shoulders, relax your face. Again, take a big breath in, filling up the belly, the ribs, chest, up to the collarbones. And exhale to release completely. Take a few more rounds like this, allowing yourself to withdraw your attention and starting to feel your energy sinking down out of the mental space, and instead noticing the feeling of the breath. Notice how your body feels right now. Now you can open your eyes. Before we really start to get into our practice, I wanted to introduce what we call our Mula Bandha in yoga, or our root lock. So in your breathing, you could kind of feel your diaphragm moving. That's a sheet-like muscle that creates this separation between your heart and lungs up top and your abdominal cavity here. And your pelvic floor kind of serves as a diaphragm as well, just kind of almost like a hammock at the base of the pelvic floor. So when we're thinking about grounding, getting in tune with that space, that lifting of the pelvic floor in and up helps to immediately draw our attention down out of our minds and instead connect us to our root. So when you're thinking about engaging these muscles, it's kind of like engaging a Kegel, or if you were trying not to, use the restroom on yourself. That's what common yoga teachers will tell you. So as we're moving through our practice, we want to keep that connection with that space. Before we start moving, we're going to engage it with the breath. So we'll take a full deep inhale to fill up, just like we did. And at the bottom of your exhale, you're just going to squeeze and lift your pelvic floor. From there, hold. As you inhale, keep squeezing. Imagine the energy traveling up the spine. Good. Release, and then exhale to relax. Again, at the bottom of the exhale, we squeeze. Inhale to lift in and up. Hold the breath in. Right. At the top of the exhale, release the pelvic floor. Release the breath. Right. One more time. As you inhale, you fill up. Draw the pelvic floor in and up. Release. Exhale. Feel yourself settling back down. As we move through the practice, we're not going to keep that engaged the entire time, but there are going to be a couple moments where I bring that back in. So just so we have an introduction in the beginning. But first, you're going to bring your hands onto your knees. Sitting up tall, we're going to start to wake up the spine a little bit first. So hands on top of the knees to kind of use it as leverage. As we inhale here, you're going to send your belly forward. Lift your chest, look towards the sky. As we exhale, pull your hands into your knees, lean back, round your spine, look down. Then inhale, you're sending the chest forward, lift. As we exhale, we round and look down. Inhale again, stretching through the front body. Exhale now to round through your back. A couple more times, moving to the rhythm of your own breath. Inhale to fill all the way up. Exhale to release all the way out. And from there, you'll bring yourself up to a neutral spine. Take an inhale, reach both arms up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to twist to our left. Bring both of your hands down onto the ground. Twist towards the left and look back over your left shoulder. Take an inhale to sit up a little taller. Exhale to twist a little bit deeper. Inhale again, reach the arms up through center. And as you exhale, we twist over to the right this time. Fingertips down, draw the shoulder back. Look back. Good. Inhale again, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, we'll bring hands through heart ceiling, or hands through heart center. Here, before moving forward onto our hands and our knees, we're going to wake up our wrists a little bit. So as you're reaching your arms out in front of you, I'm going to turn sideways so you can kind of see. You'll reach your arms out in front of you. You're going to spread your fingertips out. As your arms are straight, you're kind of flexing through your wrists so you can stretch through the space. On the inhales, we'll spread the fingers out like we're stretching the webbing in between the hands. And as you exhale, bring the fingertips together. Bring your fingertips to point down towards the ground, like you're trying to pull the fingertips towards you. Inhale again, flex and spread the fingers. As we exhale, we pull them together and round back. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, point down. Last one, inhale, open. You can feel the wrists engaging, those muscles. And then exhale, point down. Good. From here, we're going to spread the fingers out. Really feel that engagement and that opening through the palms. And then take that same energy, press it into the mat, rock forward onto your hands and your knees. We're going to come into our tabletop position. So now, we're not sitting on our butts, so that's not our root anymore. Right now, our root and our foundation is through our hands and also onto our knees. So press the fingers into the mat, spread that webbing just like we did, and then really press the ground away from you. Start to feel like you're pressing the back of your heart towards the ceiling a little bit. From there, we're going to draw our low belly in, squeeze your pelvic floor, tuck your toes under. Then from here, you're going to lift the knees about an inch above the mat. So spread through the fingers, really press through the knuckles so your wrists aren't getting all the weight here. From here, we're going to think about magnetizing our forearms and our hands towards one another so you'll feel a slight engagement in the arms and in the shoulders. Good. Keep the breath coming in. Full inhale. Good. Full exhale. Good. One more deep breath like that. Inhale. And as you exhale, press through the fingers, root down as you send the hips up and back, stretching into our first downward facing dog. So here you can keep the knees bent if that means that you can send the hips a little bit further back and the chest closer to the thighs. Once you have that, you can slowly start to anchor your heels down towards the ground. Spread the toes, really root through the feet and the palms. And allow your head to hang heavy, it's just dangling between the biceps. Take one more deep big inhale and a full exhale. From there, inhale, you're going to look to the top of the mat, lift your heels, and then we're slowly going to tiptoe our way all the way forward so that the feet are coming up to meet the hands. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to. From there, you'll bring your feet so they're about hips distance apart. You have a steady foundation underneath your legs, and then we just hang like a rag doll. Allow the crown of the head to drip down. Fingers reaching towards the ground. Bend the knees a little bit. Be nice to the hamstrings. And here we'll really feel ourselves pressing and rooting through the feet, relaxing the head and the neck, anchoring down. Take some deep breaths. Here I love to imagine kind of the cap being taken off the top of the crown and allowing any thoughts that really are just coming from an anxious or stressed place to pour out of the top of the head down into the ground. Just surrendering any type of thought patterns that really aren't for your highest good right now. From here, fingertips still dripping towards the ground. We're gonna round through the spine and slowly roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time until you come all the way up to stand. Press down through the feet, engage the midlines of the legs. Feet pressing down, inner thighs squeezing towards one another, low belly drawing in, glutes slightly engaged, slightly. Okay. Hands at heart center, shoulders relaxing down. From here, we're gonna take an inhale, come into your chair pose. So you'll sink your hips down and back, lift your arms up alongside your ears. So yes, it looks like you're sitting in a little kindergartner's chair. Look down, you should be able to see your toes in front of your knees. So a lot of the weight is back in the heels. From here, again, we're gonna engage our pelvic floor. So squeezing, lifting in and up. Your low belly draws in to lengthen your low back, and then start to engage the muscles on your back to lift your arms a little bit higher. A nice engaged chair pose. From here, as we exhale, we're gonna sweep our right arm back, reach your left arm forward, open twist, look back towards your right fingertips. Inhale up through center, still low in your chair. Exhale, sweep the left arm back. On the inhale, we reach up. Good, testing our balance and stretching out the feet. On your next exhale, sweep your arms back, press through the balls of your feet, start to lift your heels away from the ground. So here you want to really stretch to the bottom of the feet and the tops of the ankles as well. Pressing down through the balls, lifting the heels as high as you can. Glide your shoulders down and back, holding your balance. Squeeze pelvic floor. Good. From here, release the heels down. Take an inhale, sweep the arms high. As you exhale, we release into a forward fold, but we're going to take a clasp behind our back, starting to open up the shoulders. So allow your fingertips to interlace. The heels of your hands are touching. As your head melts down, you reach your arms up over your head to get a good wrench through the shoulders. In today's flow, we're going to have an opportunity to flow a little bit between some of the movements, but mostly we're going to be holding for 5 breaths. So we can give ourselves a chance to ground into each shape before moving on to the next thing. From here, release the fingertips down towards the ground. Press fingertips into the mat. Keep your legs nice and engaged. From here, you're going to take an inhale. Lift your right leg up behind you. So you're coming into what looks like a halfway lift with your head going forward, but your right heel pushing back. Straighten your legs so you can feel your thigh muscle engaging. It's like you want to kick back through your heel and extend your head in the opposite direction. Good. 2 more nice deep breaths here. Full inhale. Full exhale. From here on your next exhale, step your right foot way far back on the mat. You're going to spin your heel onto the ground. Keep your left knee over your left ankle. On an inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up towards the ceiling. Palms come to touch. Keep a deep bend in your left knee, and then you can look forward or look up towards your fingertips. Palms either right above the shoulders or pressing into one another. And even when we're holding these postures, if our body's in physical stillness, there are still some internal shifts that can be happening. So stay present. Notice what you feel in each moment. Take one more inhale. Extend to the fingertips. As we exhale, we're going to open our arms to a T. Open the hips, coming into your warrior 2. From there, straighten your left leg. Both legs are straight. And then we're going to come into our triangle pose. So you're going to cock your right hip back. Start to lean forward through your left fingertips, keeping your ribs stacked over your left thigh bone. From here, you can have your left hand on your shin and reach your right arm up. If you have a little more space, you can walk your hand down towards your foot. But what we want to try to do is keep your shin and your ribs stacked in line with one another so you can pull your right shoulder back and maybe look up towards the fingertips for a nice side stretch. Breathing through the entire thing. Inhales to fill up and extend. Exhale, root through both feet. Squeeze the leg muscles. One more big breath. Look up towards the fingertips. As you exhale, sweep your right arm down, bring hands through heart center. You're going to step to the top of the mat, land deep and low in your chair pose. Then we start over. Take an inhale, arms go up alongside the ears. Exhale, this time sweep the left arm back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sweep the right arm back. Inhale, rise. And as you exhale, we come to balance on the tippy toes. Squeeze the pelvic floor. On the inhale, we rise to stand. Sweep the arms high, heart opener. Exhale, take that clasp behind your back, coming into our fold. Release the crown of the head down. Here we hold for 5 breaths. Feel the hamstrings lengthening out behind you. Head gets heavy, shoulders opening up. From there, sprinkle fingertips down to the ground, going over to the other side. Put your weight into your right foot, left leg lifts up behind you. Squeeze through your left glute so you can really lift that leg high. Extend through the heel, straightening the leg. Fingertips on the ground. See if you can find length between the head and the heel. Finding and creating more space in the body for the breath to come in and bring new, fresh energy. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, the left foot steps back. You spin the heel down. On the inhale, we rise. Arms sweep up. Hands above the shoulders or palms together. Look towards the ceiling. Good. 5 deep breaths. On your next exhale, you're going to split your hands into a T, opening for our warrior 1. Deep bend in your right knee, then straighten your leg as you inhale. Both legs straight, fingertips out. From here, we cock our left hip back, start to lean. And here I was trying to figure out like what imagery this looks like. And all I could think about was like if you were trying to like drop a coin or like drop yourself down into a toaster, you want to be kind of flat. So don't allow your butt to stick out towards the back. Squeeze the glutes underneath. Just like sliding yourself on down in there. Left arm reaches up. Squeeze this right thigh so it feels like your knee is lifting in towards your hip. Look up towards the left fingertips. Draw the shoulders out of the ears. Take one more full deep breath. Look up. Again, as we exhale, we're going to step to the top of the mat, hands through heart center, meeting deep and low in your chair pose. Good. This time, sinking the hips down and back. You're going to lift and squeeze your pelvic floor. Again, reach the arms up, coming into your chair. Now, here, you have the option of staying here, or we're going to play with a little toe squat. So bring hands through heart center. You can keep yourself standing here, or start to balance on the toes again. Stay here balancing on the toes or slowly start to bend your knees, lowering your hips down on top of your heels. So getting a nice little stretch for the front of the thighs, challenging our balance. And anytime you're trying to find balance in a yoga pose, squeezing your pelvic floor, drawing your low belly in and up, engaging our bandhas or our locks will help you. Keep everything hugging in tight towards the center line. All right, from there, take one more inhale as you reach up, come to stand, extend the hips forward. Exhale, come into your fold. Good, shake the head out. Say yes, say no. Release the neck. On an inhale, come up for a halfway lift. Head reaches forward, tailbone points back. As you exhale, plant the hands. We're gonna separate the feet wide so they're about match distance apart. Turn the toes out, heels in. And then sink low for your yogi squat. So depending on how open your hips are, your yogi squat might look a little bit more like this, or you're reaching forward for that counterbalance, or you can be a little bit lower here so your hips are coming down towards your heels. Either way, we're just going to be here for a breath. Reach your heart towards your thumbs. And then as you exhale, both hands are going to plant. We're going to step our left foot way far back. Bring both of your hands on the inside of your right foot and then turn your right foot so that your toes are pointing forward. They were turning out. Now they're pointing directly forward, right knee on the outside of the right tricep. From there, really squeeze. Think about drawing your feet towards one another. So your right foot is kind of magnetizing backwards. Your left foot's magnetizing forward. As you do that, keep a little bit of a buoyancy in the hips so you can feel your left thigh muscle engaging. The back of your kneecap is lifting up towards the ceiling. Good. Building a little heat in the front of the thighs. Squeeze your left glute. Extend your head forward. Good. So even though we're physically not moving in this posture, it looks pretty simple. If you're engaging those things that I was just talking about, you can definitely feel this in your right hamstring, in your left thigh muscle, maybe even in your left glute. Let's take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower your back knee down. We're going to glide our hips back, coming into a hamstring stretch. Those right toes are going to flex back towards your face. You can keep your fingertips reaching forward, or if you need to, walk them back on either side of your foot, you can. Send the hips back, send the heart forward. Feel your hamstring stretching out. From here, hands reaching forward. Again, we re-enter this lunge. This time, turn your right toes out at a diagonal again. Keep your hips dropping forward. From here, we're going to bring our right hand on top of the inside of our right knee. Keep your left shoulder kind of spinning out a little bit so it's not caving in. Right arm bone or left arm bone kind of rolling outwards. Reach your right shoulder back. Look over the shoulder. So you're getting a twist to the spine and still an opening in this thigh muscle here on the left side. The same space we were just contracting and feeling all that heat. Now we use it to open up the body. Okay. From there we release. Bring both hands down to the ground. Tuck your left toes under behind you. From here we're going to step forward and again land in that yogi squat or malasana. So keep the hips high. Fingertips on the ground. Press through your right foot. Step the left foot forward. Sink the hips down low. Hands through heart center. Back is nice and long. Try to reach your heart towards your thumbs again. And then over to the other side. Bring the hands down. Now the right foot steps way far back. Turn your toes so they all point forward. Plant the hands. Extend the head forward. Draw the feet towards one another. You feel this engagement in the front of the thigh. Sometimes we think that in order to really be getting work done, we have to be doing so many things. We have to be busy. We have to be like physically making moves. You don't have to be making external shifts in order for something to be happening. Internal shifts are sometimes just as important. Feel the thigh engagement. Feel your left hamstring talking to you. This is work. This is definitely work. Take one more inhale. Send your head forward. And as you exhale, release, relax everything. Knee drops down to the ground. Send the hips back. Left foot flexes back towards your face. Don't force this. Your hamstring will win in any battle that you're fighting with it. So don't even fight. Just bring yourself to where you can feel the stretch and breathe into it. From here, we'll slowly slink our way forward onto the mat. Turn those left toes out. Sink the hips forward and down. Right hand plants. Shoulders rolling away from the ear. Left hand comes on top of the knee. Start to pull the left shoulder back. You can untuck your back toes. Sink the hips low. From here, release both hands down to the ground. And again, we're going to step ourselves forward, so we're making our way into our malasana squat, our yogi squat. Lift your back knee, Step forward, foot plants, hips low, hands pressing into heart center. This time, really press your elbows into your knees and then press your knees back into your elbows. See, this is an active pose. Feeling this union of opposites, elbow and the knee, pressing into one another to create that engagement in the legs. Reach your heart towards your thumbs. Look forward. From here, you can stay, or we're going to bring our right fingertips over towards the right. Your elbow is still on the inside of your knee, and then reach your left arm up, so coming into a twist. Then exhale, slowly release. Over to the opposite side. You can still feel this engagement, maybe a little bit of heat in the legs. Left arm goes straight, right arm reaches up. Then bring yourself back through center. From here, take one more deep inhale. Reach the crown of the head up. And as you exhale from here, we'll release. Bring your hands to the ground behind you. Slowly roll onto your butt. And then roll yourself onto your back. From there, hug the knees in close towards you. Here, in order to open up the space that we were just folding and contracting, we're going to come into what's called our bridge pose. So arms will be down beside you, feet are planted roughly under the knees. From here, you're going to squeeze your glutes, lift your hips away from the mat, and feel this opening across the hip flexors, across the abdominals, a little bit of engagement in your back, a decent amount in the hamstrings and in the glutes. Option to take that clasp underneath your body. Shoulder blades rolling together. Press your chest towards your chin. If you're holding in this posture and you're starting to notice a specific area of your body getting a little weak, like maybe your glutes or your hamstrings are really feeling the shape, start to look at other places in the body and see if you can recruit more of your muscles, more of your resources in order to help you with this challenge. So can you press through the heels a little more? Can you press through the arms and the shoulders? Can you use your hips to drive them a little bit closer towards your chin? In any challenge, can we engage more of our resources to help spread some of that workload out? Take one more deep inhale, lift, and then exhale, slowly release. And pull the knees in towards the chest, give them a little squeeze. Rock side to side a couple times. Here, go ahead and come back through center. You're going to bring your arms out to a T or a cactus, and we'll drop both of our knees to the left. Turn your chin and your gaze over towards the right. Allow your shoulders to relax, the legs and the hips. We'll slowly lift ourselves back up through center, and then place your knees over on the right. Turn your chin to the left. How much can you sink and relax and ground into this shape? Release some of that tension that you're carrying in the face, in the shoulders, in the hips. Allow yourself to rest. Slowly lift yourself back up through center. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Give them a little squeeze. Forehead towards the knees. And then we'll expand out into Shavasana. Scoot the legs out long, arms down by your side, and roll shoulder blades together underneath you. From here, we'll lift our arms to hover away from the mat, squeeze the fists. From there, lift your legs and your feet, feel the abdominals, feel the legs, flex the feet, and then drop everything. As you drop everything, really drop everything. Relax, sink into the shape. Feel the support of the earth underneath you. Feel the beating of the heart in your chest, pumping oxygen energy through the body. Feel the breath as it extends out to the fingertips, to the toes, nourishing all cells in your body. And here, as you sink into deeper states of relaxation, allow your mind to be at ease as well. Allow it to focus and settle on the breath. Slowly going to start to bring some movement into the fingers and the toes. Take a deep breath, filling up the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And a sigh through the mouth. Taking the full deep inhale, coming into a full body stretch, up to the fingers, down to the toes, and exhale to just drop. From there, you can hug your knees in towards your chest. We're going to rock ourselves forward and back so you can roll up to a seat. And here we'll meet with hands at heart center. I extend gratitude to you for allowing me to lead you through this practice, for showing up on your mat for yourself. And as always, the divine in me sees and acknowledges the divine in you. Namaste.